What's going on, Materos of the world? This is Dave Mate back for another online Mate Circle. It's been many, many weeks. For the first time ever, I'm actually doing a live video simultaneously on Facebook. So give me a second. Those of you guys who are watching on Facebook, who are part of Facebook, check out the circleofdrink.com or the facebook.com/circleofdrink. We're going live over there as well. So we have both things going right now for the first time. Live streaming on Facebook. What's up, guys? Dave Mate live streaming on YouTube. If you guys have questions throughout this little chat, feel free to ask questions. And then maybe 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to open up the YouTube for people who want to join this online Mate Circle. For those of you guys who want to interact, no problem. Right now, I'm just kind of going solo, but feel free to ask questions and I'll help you out. So, excuse me, guys. Some of you guys don't know about yerba mate. So, a lot of what I say may be redundant. You may have heard it already for those of you who do know about yerba mate, but I feel that it's very important every time I make a video to re-explain what yerba mate tea is, because there's so many people out there in the world who just don't know what mate is yet, and they're just finding out about it. And that's why they're coming to this video, to learn about yerba mate. What is it? So essentially, just to repeat my story 1,000 times, which I'm happy to do because it's a great story. Went out to Argentina 2009. I was living in Manhattan at the time, and people were coming up to me trying to speak Spanish. I didn't speak any Spanish at the time. So I thought about it. I was like, this must be a sign. People think I speak Spanish. I just need to go to South America and learn Spanish. So I moved to South America. I enrolled in one of those crazy intensive language schools where you study 3 or 4 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 months. I did that. I fell in love with the culture. But the first night there, people said, hey, guys, Dave, drink some of this tea. They didn't know my name at the time, obviously. They just said, hey, you, come over here, drink some of this stuff. I didn't know what it was. It was an herb, some sort of herb in a cup with a filtered straw, metal straw. Started drinking it. Was like, whoa, this stuff is pretty interesting. To tell you the truth, I didn't fall in love with it until many weeks later when I kept on drinking it, and then it just hit me. But I just ended up living in Argentina. I fell in love with the culture, fell in love with the people. I ended up living there for about 3 years, actually. And for 3 years, I had a sole mission. My sole mission was to learn about yerba mate. So every single day in my apartment, I just had people over, many local Argentinians who just taught me everything that they knew. They introduced me to their parents. They introduced me to their grandparents. They took me out to their farms. They took me out to different parts of the country. For 3 years, all I did was study yerba mate and live in Argentina. And throughout this time, I was doing a lot of research, and I was like, how come there's nobody talking about mate like this? This stuff is the best. It's the greatest secret. Why isn't anybody really talking about it on a level of what it does for the mind, what it does for the body? And what I particularly like is the gourmet aspects of mate. For me, mate is kind of like wine. It's kind of like cheese. It's kind of like all these gourmet items. But I digress. Let's keep on going. So ended up living in Argentina for many years. Learned everything I could about mate. Mate is a holly plant. It's similar to a tea plant in terms of how it looks. That grows predominantly in South America, mostly in South America. And the Argentinians and the Uruguayans and the Paraguayans and the Brazilians, this is their national drink. Maybe 100 million people drink it every single day. And this drink, what does it do for you? For those of you that don't know, mate kind of just stimulates your mind. It actually helps you stay alert, stay agile, stay flexible of mind, nimble thoughts. Unlike coffee, you could drink mate pretty much all day long and you just feel great. You're just smooth sailing. There's no crashing effects. Unlike tea, mate kind of gives you this boost of cognition that's sustainable, and you could drink it effectively all day long. I drink it all day long. Tea is great. I love green tea. I have a lot of great things to say about green tea. I still drink it. But when I found out about mate, I had to kind of push green tea aside, because mate was superior to me in terms of what it was doing to my body, what it was doing to my mind. And then apart from all that, the metaphysical community friendship building aspects of mate is like no other. Now, this may sound kind of mystical and crazy to some people watching this. I know I have a lot of scientists, doctors, MDs, physicists who watch my videos, but I'm just sharing my subjective experience. I love the science too. If you watch my other videos, you'll see that I made dozens of scientific videos about yerba mate. Just type in, just go to Circle of Drink on YouTube, and you'll see all my science-based videos with sourced in all those videos. But what I really love, I gotta be honest, I love the metaphysical aspects of mate too. Like I said, the first night I was in Argentina, strangers invited me to come over to them. And then they basically stuck this in my face and said, here, share this with us. They didn't know me. I'm just some New Yorker that just shows up out of the blue and starts living at this residence at the time. It was like a school, university residence for the first 3 months. And they just said, start drinking this. And I said, all right, cool, wow. Apart from the mate, for me, mate was like a metaphor. It was a metaphor of friendship and community. It was like a key that somebody handed me and said, you come over to my circle, come on in my community, here are my friends, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm about, what are you about? And I was kind of spellbound. I was like, whoa, you know, coming from New York, I mean, I love New York. New York is my spot, but you don't really see those sort of things happening in New York where total strangers just come up to you and start sharing a drink with you. But yet in countries like Argentina and Uruguay and Brazil and Paraguay, this is absolutely commonplace. This is just normal. So I was just shocked. That's what shocked me. That's what intrigued me to start learning about mate. And then to get back into the whole metaphysical friendship aspects of mate, mate has some way, and I don't know how, scientists don't know how, nobody knows how, hence metaphysics, where mate just kind of makes you more open. It connects you to your friends. It connects you to your family. When you share mate with somebody, it just makes you want to talk. It makes you want to invite them into a conversation. Now, yes, you know, we could probably look at the science and say, well, yeah, that may be due to theophylline and caffeine. It's stimulating the central nervous system and it's opening up your mind. It's making your thoughts more conducive and more receptive to ideas. Try to quantify it all day long. But at the end of the day, the foremost yerba mate scientists in the world, and there's only a handful of them, they don't even understand fully how mate works. Every single couple weeks, we're finding out something new about mate. But what we do know is if you compare mate, yerba mate tea, side by side with green tea, the level of antioxidant capacity, and I don't want to go into all the science, it's not a science video, but if you compare the amount of antioxidants in yerba mate and the effectiveness of those antioxidants in yerba mate to green tea, yerba mate's, I don't even want to compare yerba mate to coffee in this video because it puts coffee to shame. Anybody that's a serious coffee drinker, and I enjoy an Americano here and there, knows that coffee just kind of makes you crash. It's kind of just this sludge, you know, don't get me wrong. I like gourmet coffee here and there, but it doesn't give you that sustainable mind alerting energy that's sustainable. Keyword sustainable. Coffee is good for a quick burst of cognition, but yerba mate is more of a sustainable flow, energetic flow of creativity, enhancing receptivity, opening yourself up, opening up your heart. Coffee's more a little brute, I would say. So guys, sum it all up, yerba mate tea. Look more into this tea. Powerful, powerful plant. Go to circleofdrink.com and there's hundreds of articles, or just Google yerba mate and you could read all sorts of things about it. Find videos on YouTube. I implore you to really get into this. It has changed my life. It has changed millions of people's lives all over the world. I know this is kind of sounding kind of like, I don't know, like a fraternity or sorority or something. I don't know about that. All I know is that I love yerba mate. I drink 8 years, and it's just powerful stuff. What's up, Mike Bishop? What's going on? So this is cool. Facebook Live for the first time. Nice. If you guys have questions on Facebook Live, just go ahead, man, and ask questions that I'll try to answer throughout this. So here we go. Now, today I'm talking about the traditional way of drinking yerba mate. You guys could do your own research or watch my other videos about the different methods of drinking mate. But I want to focus this video on comparing two of the traditional ways of drinking yerba mate. Okay. So here we have what we call a calabash. Calabash just means squash. Calabasa, the word calabasa in Spanish means squash. This is a squash plant. In English, we would say calabash. Some people would say that, but this is just essentially a hollowed out squash plant. This is a yerba mate gourd where you drink the mate. You put the mate in this, or you put the mate in a gourd like this. This is a stainless steel gourd. What you do is you get an actual Beitia. This is going to look kind of weird because I'm pulling it out of the herb, but this is called a Beitia. You can see the herb on it. This is a metal straw, okay? Now, at the end of this metal straw is a filter with tiny little holes, dozens of little holes. What you do is you pour 3/4 of the dry yerba mate in this gourd, right? And then what you do is you get the Beitia and you put that in onto one side of the gourd and just kind of make a little hole. And then you add the hot water like this. See that? Real simple, guys. It's not really complicated. You add the hot water, and then all day long until you're content, you just keep on drinking yerba mate. Just like that. Now, let me try to answer some of the questions I've received over the years. Some people say, Dave, well, how long can you drink the mate inside the gourd? The simple answer is as long as you want. When I first started drinking yerba mate, I learned from the Argentinians. And the Argentinians, I love them, but most of them aren't really about like connoisseurship yerba mate. They're just like, I just drink it because it's normal. I took a whole nother twist on it and went the connoisseurship craft route. So for me to drink mate, I love the transition of a strong mate when you get the first, let's call them 20 cycles. A cycle is every time you fully complete a gourd. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Crazy connection right now. But let's try to pick up from where we left off. Thank you guys who stuck around. I think we lost the Facebook group. Oh, that sounded so American. Lo siento. Lo siento. Lo siento. But all right, guys. So here we go. What I was talking about was the Calabash gourd. I'm never going to stop using the Calabash gourd. I love the Calabash gourd. I love the energy. My favorite thing about this is just the energy of it, sharing this plant matter, sharing something that just came out of the earth. I love that. That cannot be replaced by any other gourd. Cons about this gourd, and I don't even call it a con, but some customers may who don't. But this is the thing. Gourds for 5-6 years now, so I've heard so many stories, and the main problem is that North Americans who don't know anything about mate, when they go ahead and buy something like this, which is a natural plant, this is a plant material, and they start to see a little bit of mold, a little bit of discoloration, a little bit of crazy funny things happening in here, they immediately get worried and think they're going to get sick and die. And they write me, they say, hey, Circle of Drink, can I continue to drink this? What's going on with this? Am I going to get sick? And that's okay. That's totally normal. If I didn't know anything about gourds, I would have the same questions. So I have to continually let people know, in my experience and the experience of tens of millions of people in South America who drink out of the Calabash gourd, it's totally normal for the gourd to get kind of yucky and gooey and weird and things going on. That's simply a combination of two principal things happening. Oxidation. Oxidation is essentially oxygen attacking the plant matter and basically breaking down that matter, turning it black, kind of like when you cut an apple in half and the apple slowly begins to darken and darken and darken and darken and darken. That's oxidation. It's totally normal. If you were to cut an apple, fresh apple, and then after 2 hours it turns a little brown, it would still be okay to eat, right? Same thing going on here when you continue to drink out of it. Now, some people ask, does mold and things like that occur? Yeah, probably for the first week or two, there might be some mold in it. But the way that I look at it is that any mold that occurs inside here, the mold is only eating the moist plant matter. The mold cannot survive in a substrate, a medium that's totally dry. The mold will not survive in that substrate. It won't grow, at least, and thrive. So the mold is like my friend. The mold is basically eating up the soft plant matter that has been able to retain a certain level of humidity, a certain level of moisture. But over time, as you continue to use the gourd, you'll see it's totally dry, bone dry. It's this one uniform green color in there. And that's how you know this gourd is fully cured. After 2 to 3, maximum 2 to 3 weeks of doing that, this gourd will be fully cured, and you won't get that weird sort of gooey matter going on in there. That will be gone. And then every time you drink after the 2 to 3 weeks of the initial use of the gourd, it's totally cured. Now, I'm partly to blame, because when I first got back from Argentina in 2012, after my 3 years there, I started teaching everybody the whole curing method. Cure the gourd, 12-hour this, put some mate in here for 12 hours, add the water, dump it out, put more mate, fill it up, add the water for another 12 hours, dump it out. I don't recommend curing at all anymore. Why? Because even though this is a part of the Argentine, Brazilian tradition, Paraguayan tradition, and I respect that, but I don't know. I go my own route. I make up my own things. And through my experience, curing actually is bad for the gourd. From my experience. I'm going to get a lot of people who write me crazy things about that, but hey, after 6 years of curing hundreds of gourds, I think, I've accumulated enough knowledge and experience to what is happening here. So I no longer recommend curing, but even though I have tons of videos out there and articles, I'm still going to keep them out there, because in some cases, curing can help a gourd It can help seal some microscopic holes and microscopic cracks, and even some cracks that you could see. But overall, I think the net gain is not as high as the net probability for disaster. So, you know, you have more chances of ruining the gourd than actually helping the gourd, if that makes any sense. So, Calabash gourd, I love this gourd. This is a nice gourd. Another issue may be when you're sharing this gourd, you know, the first couple times when you're using it, the first couple weeks, the gourd will release its own compounds inside your mate, and that will affect the taste. So usually for the first 2 weeks, you're going to have an extra bitter mate because there's compounds inside this gourd that have bitter taste, different saponins. But that's another story, but those things are actually good for you as well. So the great thing about this gourd, just to recap, I love it because it's natural, it's grown from the earth, it's blessed by Mother Nature, and it has this crazy, really good energy. I don't know, it just has a powerful energy. Some of the things that may throw you off is the gourd, the whole curing issue where it gets kind of yucky and funny in here for the first couple of weeks of use. Don't worry, it's totally normal. Even if it gets crazy mold in here, just rinse it out really well and let it dry under the sun. And also, it does affect the taste of the mate. So those are some of the things that you want to keep in mind. Now, when it comes to a stainless steel gourd, the great thing about this gourd is that these in particular, from circleofdrink.com, the great thing about these is that they're so easy to use. One of the cool technology aspects of these gourds is that they're double-walled. So they're double-walled, meaning that there's actually 2 walls between the walls around the entire circumference of the gourd. What does that do? Well, that serves to keep the mate either hot or cold. So if you're drinking hot mate, it keeps the mate hot for longer periods of time. And if you're drinking cold mate, it keeps the mate cooler for longer periods of time. That's the double wall technology inside of these gourds. And it doesn't burn your hand. So, you know, you have your hot water, you add it in, and maybe your water is a little extra hot. Remember, you don't want to boil the water. You just want the water very hot. You're not going to burn your hand, and boom, salud. Things about this mate. Now, also, for those of you guys who are connoisseurs of yerba mate, who love craft yerba mate, who love really experiencing yerba mate like you would wine or cigars or scotch or cookies, anything that any food or drink that you're into, don't you just love going out and trying different ones from different places, from different people, from different aunts and different uncles, different sources, different stores? Same thing with yerba mate, guys. I can't stress this enough. This is why I built this entire community based upon not only the friendship of mate, but the gourmet aspect of mate. And I'll keep on preaching about it because I truly believe that there's hardly anyone out there on this planet right now talking about this. Maybe 2 or 3 people on the entire planet that are publicly talking about this. But yerba mate is truly gourmet. It's not just some tea you drink. Yeah, it is. You could do that. Just drink it and feel good. But if you keep on drinking it and keep on experiencing it, you're going to notice this infinite plethora of flavor profiles, okay? And I hate to keep on bringing up wine, but well, hey, I don't hate it. I love wine, so I'll bring it up. You know, the reason I say this is because some of the drinkers are like, oh, why do you talk about wine and alcohol? That's no good. Just focus on mate. Don't promote alcohol. Well, I'm not promoting alcohol, but I love alcohol. I drink wine too. So the best comparison to yerba mate in terms of flavor profiles, from my experience, from my life, is wine. In fact, before I learned about mate, I spent several years just learning about wine. And that allowed me to interpret the flavor profiles of the yerba mate. Without studying wine and green tea and the flavor profiles of these things, I wouldn't have the necessary vocabulary and, you know, mental database to begin to talk about the gourmet aspects of wine, of yerba mate. So this is why I always refer yerba mate back to wine in terms of taste profiles, because those of you guys who know about wine, you know there's so many things going on with the terroir of wine. What does the terroir mean, this concept? The terroir is essentially the taste profile of the wine that is affected by the climate, the soil, how it's grown, whether there's stems in the wine, how it's been handled, how it's been treated, the temperature. Everything, every facet of the production of the wine goes into creating the terroir. The terroir is the general philosophy of taste for the particular wine. The same thing holds true for yerba mate, based upon the climate, based upon the altitude, based upon the soil, and in my opinion, primarily based upon how the mate is dried, where it's dried, and how long it's dried. Just like how you age wine or age cigars, the aging period of the mate dramatically affects the end result of the mate. That's a video I've been wanting to make for a long time. I'll make that video eventually. Somebody remind me in a couple weeks if I forget. So now coming back to why I like these gourds is that with these metal gourds, you taste the true flavor of the mate. There is no imparting flavors from the gourd. Okay, remember, you're going to taste the gourd when you're drinking out of this. Okay, but when you're drinking out of this, you're tasting absolutely nothing but the mate. That's the primary benefit of drinking out of a stainless steel gourd. You're going to taste the mate, the true taste of the mate out of this. So for those of you connoisseurs out there who just want to drink pure yerba mate and not taste the actual plant matter, which is cool, I still think it's really cool actually, you're going to want to get yourself a stainless steel gourd or a glass gourd. This is why we started promoting these gourds on circleofdrink.com, because it was like, all right, man, one of my friends, Milton Krause, actually, the founder of probably some of the best organic yerba mate on the planet right now. Check out yerbamateland.com to learn more about his yerba mate. It's called Krause, K-R-A-U-S, Krause Pure Leaf Yerba Mate. He gave me this as a present. We spent a couple weeks together last year. We went all over the place, northern Argentina. We visited factories. We visited growers. We visited all sorts of things. Milton's an amazing guy. He gave me this as a present, and I've just been drinking it for a year. And then I said, oh, my God, I got to get these things out there. So nice. Such a nice gourd. So those are the benefits of drinking out of a stainless steel gourd or a glass gourd. Pure taste. Simple to use. And another benefit would be that the maintenance of this is so easy. All you do is dump out the mate every single night, rinse this out real quick, boom, it's ready for the next day. The thing with this Calabash gourd, which I love, but you got to really have patience with this thing. You got to really have love for this, because when you're drinking out of this, there's going to be all little particles and stuff in here, stuck in here after the end of the day. So you got to really put the warm water in, shake it vigorously, rinse it out. Do that a couple times until it's perfectly clean. For some people, they're like, I don't want to go through all that. Give me a stainless steel gourd and let me get going. So guys, just to recap, you have two principal options when drinking traditional yerba mate. You have a Calabash gourd, the most traditional, awesome, good vibes. You're going to feel the energy of the earth coming out of this. This better absorbs the energy of the people you share it with. This is just more kind of comfy and homey and just real kind of traditional, historic, okay? This guy right here, stainless steel, easy to use. For those of you who just want to get started quick, get one of these, who don't want to have to worry about, waiting for this to naturally cure. And you're going to taste the true taste of the mate in this. So these are your two options, guys. Your two main options when it comes to gourds. Of course, there's wooden gourds as well. I'll talk about it in another video. But that's about it. So let me actually open this up to anybody that wants to join. Let me check, because I disabled people from joining. I got people calling me. All right, guys. If anyone wants to join, come on in. But let me also check the YouTube page if anyone has any questions. The YouTube chat window. Oh, okay. Let's see the questions. Yo, what's up? What's going on, guys? People talking about Bitcoin. All right. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for all these comments. Audio is pretty high. Okay, let me lower my audio. Thanks, guys. People talking about Bitcoin. All right. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for all these comments. Audio is pretty high. Okay, let me lower my audio. Thanks, guys. People talking about Bitcoin. All right. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for all these comments. Audio is pretty high. Okay, let me lower my audio. Thanks, guys. Maybe that's a little better. What else? Any questions? Nope, just people saying what's up. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. I'm going to start to do more videos. Just been on the grind lately. Appreciate you guys still drinking yerba mate. And for those of you guys who are just finding out about mate, remember, there's just so much information out there on this sacred plant. Just do some research online. You'll find about all sorts of things about this plant, this magical herb. It has changed my life. It has changed the lives of so many people. I get emails every single day. If I told you the emails that I received, you wouldn't believe me. I've heard from people saying, Dave, mate saved my marriage. Dave, mate's gotten me off Adderall, and now my concentration is through the roof. Dave, mate is, gotten me off all these medications. Now, of course, this is not a medical-based video. Please do your own research and discuss these things with your own doctor before making any medical decisions. But, one of the great reasons why many people drink mate, especially here in North America, is for the health benefits. It just makes you feel better. Anything that's going on, I don't want to say anything, but many things that are going on in your body, mate has the ability to help restore the body back to homeostasis. There's so much research out there. There's been publications on how mate lowers blood pressure, how mate regulates glucose levels, how mate is able to sustain boosting cognition throughout the entire day, how mate simultaneously could help you wake up in the morning and help put you to sleep at night, put you into a deep REM sleep at night. So many health benefits of yerba mate. But if I were to just sum up the health benefits of yerba mate, it just enhances well-being of the mind, well-being of the body, and well-being of the spirit. So thank you guys so much. This is Dave Mate from circleofdrink.com. All these gourds that you saw in the video are actually on our website. If you have any questions, just drop a comment below this video wherever you're watching it, or just email me directly, david@circleofdrink.com, and I'll help you out. All right, guys, salud. If you have any requests for videos, if you want to learn something specific about mate that you want me to make a video about, let me know, and I'll try to help you out. All right, guys, peace out. Thanks for joining.